you go.
Okay. Let's see other slides.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Whoops.
Yeah.
Okay. So my dad kind of already introduced me. I'm Matthew Dangerfield, and I'm going to be talking about Ionic. So I'll start with just answering the question, what is it? So Ionic is a hybrid mobile application device. So it's a way to write apps in like sort of Angular, and then you can run it on a browser, or you can run it as a progressive web app, or you can run it natively on iOS or Android. So it's a really cool way to get like native app working, because traditionally you'd have to like write a separate code base for like, iOS and Android, and then you'd also have a completely separate website. So Ionic makes that like a million times simpler, because it's just one code base, and then it can run on Android or iOS or. This was pioneered by Action's project, which started years ago. And that was just like a way to like take any web app in any framework and run it natively on a device. And Ionic kind of took Cordova and made it so it worked better with Angular, and added in a lot of components that look really good on mobile, and then kind of rolled it all together into a really easy to use framework, and that became Ionic. Just a brief history. It was founded in 2012, and originally it was Prototype, which was a way to create jQuery mobile apps, like drag and drop. So they've come a long way since then. Now they're at Ionic version 3, which is based off of Angular 4, and it's like the most popular hybrid application development. So they're actually just over in Madison, Wisconsin now. So they're kind of close. All right, so there are a lot of things that are kind of associated with framework. They're all produced by Ionic. So first, couple of features. You just need one code base, and also it's free and open source, like MIT license. So there are some parts of it that cost money, but like the majority of it, or of it, is completely free for anyone to use. So things that we go over today are the Ionic Market, the Ionic CLI, Ionic View, Ionic Native, Ionic Creator, Ionic Pro, and Stencil. Okay. We're going to start with Ionic Creator. So that's a way to create Ionic apps using a drag and drop web tool instead of like traditionally just coding the HTML. So it can make it a lot easier to quickly prototype an app, because instead of like manually writing out the HTML, then you can see it getting built up as you create it. So that's a good way to quickly get an app set up. And then once you get it all set up, then you can export it as an Ionic project, and then start adding in like the controllers and all the like code for it. So with Ionic Pro, you can also add in like AngularJS code to run with your prototype, but that's only for pro users. So it's just a really good way to quickly create like a mock-up, and you can actually use some of the code out of that in the end. The next one is Ionicons. So it's a free icon pack. There are already a lot of those. Ionicons is special because they're purposefully like made to work really well for a hybrid application framework. So Ionicon has 3 different designs to come with this. So there's iOS outline, and the material design. Then one really cool thing about Ionic is that it will automatically choose the best icon for the platform. So if you're on iOS, it will show you icons that like feel like native iOS icons. Or if you're on Android, it will show you like material design icons that It's built into the Ionic CLI, so it's really easy to use it, and it's really extensive too. So I'm going to be showing more of that during the demo. Okay, next is Ionic Market, which is a marketplace for starters, plugins, and themes. So if you want to quickly get started on an app, and they have like a lot of different starters you can use, and then you can just kind of download it, it doesn't cost money, and then you can just quickly start developing. There are also plugins and themes you can use. So that's a good way to get a start on your app. So if you have a design that you want to get built out really quickly, and Ionic theme. Okay, next one is the CLI. This is a really nice feature of Ionic. So if you know about Angular CLI, it's kind of based on that. So it generates your Ionic projects, and it can manage the projects as you're developing them. And then when you're ready to release, you can also build them. So there's like an Ionic start command, which will create an Ionic app based on a template. And then from there, you can run Ionic server, start like a live reload server, and then you can also link it up with code that might build out native app binaries. So that's kind of how you manage like the whole development cycle. And it's really useful to add in files or brand portal commands whenever you want to do anything. So kind of centralizes most of the common tasks you're going to need to do. And then also upload to Ionic View, which we'll talk about on the next slide. So Ionic View is, well, I think it's a really nice feature of Ionic, because like traditionally one problem with mobile application development is that it's really difficult to be able to create the device. And like for one developer, like trying to create their own device, like they can probably get that working, but then like just share it with someone else, like remotely, and it's a very difficult thing. So Ionic is just an app you can get from the Apple App Store, from the Google Play Store, and then you can download an application and then run it on the phone as if, so you can like really see what it would look like if it's on a device. So you don't have to manage like creating APKs and like people. You can just tell them to download the Ionic View app, and it will automatically update it whenever you push your code to the cloud server. So that's a really helpful feature of Ionic, that you don't have to manually figure out some way to get onto the phone. It makes it a lot simpler to be able to quickly leave your app on a device while you're developing. Okay, the next one is Ionic Native. So I talked about Cordova a little bit earlier, and with Cordova, there came a bunch of Cordova plugins, which are pretty much wrappers around native device APIs. So, for example, if you want to like change the brightness on the screen, then Android's going to have device APIs to change the brightness, and iOS is going to have device APIs to also change the brightness. But a Cordova plugin will take like those two different ways to change the brightness and then unify them under like one simple JavaScript API that you can have. And Cordova plugins can be kind of hard to use and like to add to, but Ionic Native is kind of like a wrapper around Cordova plugins that makes it extremely simple just to throw in random device features into your app. So I put a few examples up there. Pretty much any native device API that you want to use, there is probably already like an Ionic Native plugin for that, because that's one of the benefits of Ionic's user base is that most like device APIs you can access. So that's really helpful, because you might feel hesitant about doing native development if you have a lot of like native device APIs, but with Ionic, it makes it not only that you can access device APIs, it also makes it a lot simpler than it would, which is unified under one simple API. So it's a really nice feature. Okay, so the final thing I'm going to talk about is stencils. This is like totally cutting edge. So it was actually just announced a few weeks ago at the Holiday Development Conference. Web components is like a new standard that's it's already implemented in some browsers. Basically, we have Angular components right now, which can run, which is just a way to like reuse code inside the browser. So when browsers allow you to use HTML, but web components is a standard it's going to make it so that you can take HTML and reuse it throughout your app. So it's kind of like for a while, but it'll be built into the browser, so it'll be faster and better. But it can be hard to get started with components. So Ionic created Stencil, which is a way to create right components using this new language, which is kind of a weird hybrid of like Angular like TypeScript syntax and React. So they're that render function, which is from React. At the same time, they have like the component decorator at the top. So it'll be really interesting to see where this goes. If it really works out like the same it's going to make it really simple to create web components. That file right there and compile it into like a native web component, and then throw it anywhere you want to. So for the browsers that support web components, and that will compile to a format that native needs in the browser, and they also recommend put it into another framework. You can take like your compiled web component and then put it into an Angular application. So this is kind of a new concept, and it's totally a work in progress, but they have like a stamp for it already in development and skill on that. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. Okay, so kind of a brief overview of Ionic. So now we're going to get right into it and start with the demo. So I'm going to be creating a Prisotron. So most people have probably heard about it. It's something we use here for our meetup. I'll just quickly go into it.
Matthew, you want to see if there's any questions?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Any questions?
What exactly is it about components of Angular forwarding?
So it's more just for, it's not really useful right now. Those browsers don't support it yet, but once browsers do support web components like standard, and it's like standard, then it should be like faster than creating Angular components. It's like native. So Stencil will make it easier to access web components. So yeah, that's all I can say. Is there anyone else who has anything to add?
How does Stencil relate to Ionic then?
So Stencil is kind of like universal because it compiles into just native web components, and then it's not like you won't compile a Stencil and then push it to production. You'll compile a Stencil component and then use it in any framework you want. So it's not really its own framework. It's kind of made to use anything. So you could take this and then you could use it in like an Angular application, or put it into even like a React application. That's kind of like a universal way to like create web components.
On the, this is more one comment, but on the when you were talking about React Native, the wrapper for some of the device specific, like the Cordova suite. One of the things that I noticed when I started messing with that is like there's a very limited, when you talk about using your Cordova functionality in combination with the Ionic View application, which is kind of your previewer, there's a very limited set of functionality that you can actually access using Ionic View. So if you're implementing a lot of hardware specific things that are beyond like camera and other standard stuff, it's going to be hard to actually kind of preview that stuff, and you still have to build and then like actually push that stuff to like test flight or something.
So that's kind of one issue with the device APIs, is that like when you're running it in a browser, most Cordova plugins won't work in the browser. I think Ionic View is essentially like running it in a browser like thing. So if you, like you said, if you are using it, then you're probably going to want to just build it out like you normally would.
Have you used the emulate stuff? Does that work well?
Yeah, so I haven't actually used it, but I'm pretty sure if you use the like, because there's like an Ionic run command, I think, where you can run it in an emulator. I wasn't able to get it to work on here just because I like Android Studio's like 2 gigabytes, and I couldn't really justify I downloaded 2 gigabytes of Android stuff on my work computer when I'm not really doing anything related to Android. So I kind of just gave up on that. But I have gotten to work on another device before. Run an emulator, and then it will be able to access it. And I think, well, have done an emulator?
I haven't tried an emulator. I have Xcode installed, and I was trying to do something, but because it doesn't have a camera on it, I don't know how to get to work. So.
But like some emulators can support like changing the geolocation and things like that. That would probably work. All right. Okay. So let's go on to the prize challenge. So this is what we're going to use later tonight, actually, to pick a winner for our prizes. So we have a few like giveaways we do, and we use meetup.com to manage like this meetup. So you can RSVP to the meetup, and then you can say like either yes or no based on whether you're going to come. So using the amazing prize account, you can actually like put in a event key and event ID, and then you can just click this import name button, and then it will import like a list of names of people who RSVP yes to the meetup, and then it will. Then you can click the pick prize winner to randomly select someone. So we use this like most meetups, I think. So I thought it'd be a good way to kind of showcase how to use Ionic and how simple it is to create really complicated views. Okay, so I'm going to start out by checking out step 0. So, I already started by using Ionic. Ionic start. I think I call it live code. So this command generates an app skeleton based on values, which the tab is like a starter. So the tab is like a starter for it, and then it will just generate a basic project structure. Okay, but to do that has to like run npm install, which will probably take like forever to do. So I just regenerated that. That's all I've done so far. So now I'm on the serve command that I'll start live reload server. Well, that's just going to go over what's here. There's a bunch of for TypeScript and TSLint. There's this Ionic config file which has some. And there's this config XML which is for Cordova, I believe. And then there's www for the builds, source directory, which has app, and then pages, which is where like the main pages of your app are. And theme for like global variables. And resources, which is just icons. You could probably put like other images in there too. There's plugins, which is where you put cool plugins. Then platforms, which is where platform-specific things go. So like right here is like I added the Android platform and I'm trying to build it, and then you can see like somewhere there are like 80 pages that it builds out. So then if you add in the iOS platform, that will also be there. There's this platform's JSON file that shows what platform you added. There's modules and then hooks, which we're not going to be getting into. Okay. So I'm just going to here and let's see where we go. So here's the app that it generates. So it's a home page, about page, and then contact page. So it's really basic. Since I said to base it off the tabs template, and it has like this tab thing at the bottom. There's also a menu template which is up like a hamburger menu up there. So one thing to do is just look at the icons at the bottom, and just kind of look and feel the top. This is what it looks like on iOS, but actually, so if I switch to like an Android device and reload, then it's different. It has different icons, and then it also has more of like a material design like Android. So we'll automatically look at like the user agent string, even if you're just in a browser, and then automatically change the platform. I'm going to reload this back to iPhone. So then icon switch back. Okay. So the first step is to kind of get like kind of acquainted with like is we're going to change this contact page to a settings page. So in the end, we're going to have the home page be the place where you can list out all the people who RSVP'd yes, and then also select the winner. your about page is just gonna have like some information, and then the settings page is where you're gonna be able to pin like the Meetup API key and the Meetup event ID.
Okay. So,
our first step is just to rename this to settings. Okay. So over here, if we go on the page
directory, that's where it says contact. So this is like the folder
for the contact page. I'm just going to rename settings.
And then each of these files
also needs to be renamed.
Okay, so once we've done that, we also need to
go on the text file, rename
class,
contact page, but
settings page,
and then
and everything else
within automation.
Okay, but one more thing I want to grab. So
right here, this is what gets rendered out to. There's a build problem for a second. I think.
I might have. Okay. It might be in here actually. Okay.
Well, I'll just keep on going for now, and if it persists, then I can.
So
we have this tab. This is IN tab component.
And you can set the root for the tab,
Which is where it will go when you tap on it. So that's
inside the component.
So I'll make that bigger.
Let's add.
We're going to change the
title to settings.
settings, and then for
Okay. So we're also going to change.
the tab.
So
So
the docs. I just search for Ionic. Oh, it's right there.
icons. And wait for it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
called icons in your search.
Settings. And there we have it.
And there we have it. The settings.
So it comes with
a nice way to use it. You just put in. Well, this is how you would use it if it's just standalone. But since it's built into like app component, you put it.
Settings right there. Okay. Sometimes I've had issues where you do a lot of updates quickly, then it's just something with like the caching of the build, and then it doesn't like update the server fast enough. So
You're too fast for it.
Yeah.
It's just like renaming like a kind of there.
It is.
So
Yeah, that happens.
a few times if I like check out something or this rename there. Okay. So now we have.
So notice that now it's called settings, and it has a settings.
So
That's the first step. Oh, and one more thing up here, it says contact. So we're just going to go into settings file, and we're going to change this.
Okay. So
Now that we got that working.
Okay. The
next step is to take the settings page. We're going to add in a couple of inputs where you can input your Meetup API key and the Meetup event.
So first, I'm just going to delete that.
And then once again, documentation is just like a really good place to go because
so
much stuff
is just built into it.
And it has a documentation for
possible way you can do something. So if I just go to this list
section, they have like
just right there is like 10 examples of different types of lists. So
that's really helpful. If I just go for like their basic
example list and have like
examples and you can view it on Android.
So
I would highly recommend looking at the documentation before you examples and then
what it looks like. Okay.
So what we're doing right now is input still. So we're going to do inputs with floating labels and have this nice download username and password. I'm just going to copy this over here. And then this is going to be the API key and the password input. And this one is going to be the meetup event ID.
And that's just going to be text. Okay. So let's see how that
looks.
Okay.
Event ID and an event ID and model. Okay. So
I think I stopped it. Okay. Okay. So
that's the API key and then the event ID. Okay. So next thing we're going to
again, just going over
to the docs, looking at buttons,
full buttons,
and they have demos of like every single color of full buttons just right there.
So
And they also have Android.
So just right there, you can see how those platforms are really great. Spin up,
I use down here. I add in the button. And it's you can.
Okay.
Okay. So now we have the UI kind of built out for this. Like using NP model with the settings file, but that's not really related to Ionic, so I'm just going to skip that.
Okay. So same thing
as before, except for now I have the form with the submit,
and model,
and yeah.
And then I also just
added this model in here, and then just and once again it's kind of
breaking whenever you so. One thing that you want to avoid is just look up the event ID for this. Okay, so the event ID
you can find just like going from the URL bar.
And then it has that right there. That's the event ID.
I'm still.
Okay.
So now, oh, it has the event ID now. Okay. So if I save it, then go to the console, then it logs the event ID. And
so that's working.
So the next step, now that we have the event ID
and API
key, is to use the Meetup API
to get data
of who RSVP'd to the event. Okay. So once again, well, that's something that's mostly not related to Ionic, so I'm going to skip most of that. The first step to do that is to use the Ionic CLI to generate a provider called Meetup. And it's running, and that says providers directory that has the Meetup provider. And you can see that it's there, and that's also registered. And
so
kind of call it, so it's what Angular calls services, but for some reason,
it's also just a naming thing called providers instead of services. And
I don't particularly know why.
It's essentially the same thing. They're still using them to add So it's just like an Ionic thing where they're called providers. So
yeah, I'm not really sure on that.
but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Okay.
So now generated the provider.
Now we just have to
Add in like all the HTTP.
So that's something that's kind of time consuming.
So and then skip.
Okay. So now what I did
is I in the meetup provider
I added in
a method update config, which updates config and then fetches the meetup members. And internally, it gets it from the API URL and then maps it to this meetup RCP interface, which has an ID, a name, whether or not it's included, which we'll talk about later, and also a full URL.
doing like an observable map and then tracking up data.
And then also, it's using a behavior subject, just like our exchange.
Transmit everything. So
you don't really have to worry too much about that.
But basically, it works to do the HTTP section. So that's all it's really about. So to test that,
Let's go into
the homepage. And now,
the next step, now that we're able to get the data from the server, is to take all the list of the RCP users, and then we're just going to put it onto the homepage. Okay. So right now it's just to get a list of everyone who RCP gets displayed on the homepage. So just delete that, and then we'll go into
then we're going to include the meetup provider, and then in the NG on it, then
we're going to do this dot
meetup RCPs. Oh, actually no. There. Meetup RCPs. Actually, I think we do the meetup RCPs. Okay. And on the init, we're going to
do
describe
to the meetup RCPs observable.
And then we're going to take the new RCPs,
and then we're just going to
assign it to into our local model. Okay. So just make it so
that once it loads, then it should create
this meetup RCPs array
with a list of all the people who RCP yesterday using the meetup provider.
Okay. So display it.
We're going to go back to the and we're going to go to lists.
So their basic list demo.
We can once again just copy.
Actually, no, I have to do it with the ion
item.
So here's a list with a header
And ion items.
That's what we want. Okay. We have ion header.
We're going to call it, let's just do RS.
And then we're going to ion items with NV4. The RCPs. And then we're just going to display RCP.
You have a syntax, you have NG4.
Oh, okay, thanks. Okay, let's see if that goes right there. So
We have this empty list right now.
Save it.
And
Oh, I realized something.
one step that I forgot is adding in a loader. So the loader kind of serves two purposes actually, because, well, first of all, it provides something.
Subscribes to this update config method.
So you just subscribe to it because
and also so add a loader, we press save.
so you're not just kind of sitting there.
So
They have a loader. If you look at
iOS, and different. Okay, so once again, it's like a few lines of code that I can just copy. And
so
setting front end, I'm going to manually dismiss it by subscribing to the update config method. And then I'm just going to dismiss the loader method. Okay. So yeah, this is kind of a
hacky way of getting the data because we're subscribing just to do
loader also did it, but it works for now. So
now go over here, click save. It has this nice loader, and 404.
Oh yeah, I'm running through something. So I need to
restart
the server after
I check out because you actually have to change to have like a back end that like they're like
issues and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not that bad.
once I restart the server, it should work and it should be mapping like
this time it's complete,
and then here we have a list of everyone RSVP to this event. So that was surprising.
So I feel like that was
a really nice how like, pretty simple it is to use.
Even at this point,
we've already gotten like a nice list and like a nice looking app of all the artists.
So
now that we have this list, the next step is to take it and make it so that we can use it to select.
But first of all,
we're going to kind of make this list nicer because no one likes a list with just names. So we're going to like make it more interesting.
So once again, I said
Ionic has like a demo for practically everything. So here we have and so once again, I can essentially just
this is their demo of most
avatars, which is really cool. And then you just add.
It's an image tag with this Ion avatar tag. So this is just showing like how cool Ionic is because normally
like you get this avatar, you have to do like an image tag, and then it probably wouldn't look
like a margin or whatever, so that it's like displaying the begin to list. You can literally just like put an Ion avatar tag with this item start. Right away, if you just go look over,
and there we go. So it's everyone with their name,
avatars,
and then it automatically puts in. And so
CSS, yeah, but it already has like this nice margin,
and it looks like a mobile. Really cool thing about Ionic that you can just really quickly
prototype things and it looking like a mobile app with like hardly any design. So has like a lot of common
just mobile stuff
anyway, just built into it, right? That's one thing I really like about Ionic. So
now we're going to get into the exclusion and inclusion. So one thing that is in the using that we're going to here is that you can exclude someone from the playlist. So let's say like if you're on the meetup and you don't want people to think that you're regulars that you always win.
What are you trying to say, Matt?
And you just like, So if you want to make sure that it's
guaranteed that your friends that people know that you're not rigging this thing, and then you can just like exclude yourself, and then like you're never going to win. So, or like if someone
CPS and like doesn't show up for whatever reason,
then you can just exclude them.
like they don't deserve to win if they didn't show up. So,
once again, into the docs, if you look at the checkbox,
look at that. It's a list of checks. So once again, Ionic kind of has like
everything that you need. They probably have a component for it, and they probably have a demo for what you're trying to do.
So add in this checkbox, paste it, and when to do add in the NG model of the RC included, and then I also want to do item. So it has there are the directives that Ionic has. So I saw
There's item
here, and these are
kind of like position things horizontally.
Okay. So
I'm going to go over here, but I can tell you right now there's going to be a bug.
Okay, so all the names are gone.
So the reason that happens is it's like one of the really big benefits of
talking about is that
it's really easy to go to quickly design
and quickly
do things like using their like code examples, but that's
as well because right here
we see like the names disappear.
So if you don't like 100% follow
All what they want you to do, then sometimes it will cause
a weird issue. The solution is if you look over here, each
item is not going to.
But
over here, I just had it kind of hanging.
I just add in an ion
label, and then
add it into there.
Then it should be working.
Okay, so now the name provided.
So now that's pretty good, but it kind of demonstrates, like I was saying, a weakness that it has, that it's really easy to get things done quickly, but then sometimes you come into like these.
So it's kind of a trade-off. So now we have to list.
Now we have to list the check boxes. One thing I just want to demo is that it looks like these checks
are pretty small. Yeah.
I'm kind of like hide some else, but let's see. If I just like go out.
So it
looks like these are really small, so it'd be hard to click. But if you can click right there to do it, and then you can also just click anywhere on the item.
So once again, it's like a common mobile design pattern that you kind of want to make like the click space as big as possible to make it easy to do. But just by putting this
ion checkbox inside a list item,
then inside item, then automatically like extend it to the zone so I can play. And that's like a very logical thing to do.
Then once again, like I was saying, that could cause
later on client. But at least in our case,
that's what we want. So that's nice.
Okay. So now,
one thing that I do just to make it look better.
It's kind of hard.
Well, when you
have something that kind of just changes like over there, which is hard to see. So I'm just going to add, just to kind of demonstrate that they have like stat support.
And I'm going to add this
class. I'm just going to make the color gray. And then
I'm also going to
add a grayscale filter. So then on the
item.
Okay, so now
when RTP is included, then it should apply this exclude class to
gray and kind of give it a visual cue that it's like not in the list. Let's go see what that looks like. And here it goes, and it's on select.
And it's not working. So I'm just going to look at this.
This is another
place.
Yeah, so it's not going to find the class at all. So
I'm just going to try resharing the server. So actually,
happen in the exact same space.
I started editing this SAS.
something might be within maybe my webpack that messes it up sometimes. So okay. I'll go over here and unselect.
And you can see it grays out avatar and it grays out the name.
So that makes that really looks like a nice
visual cue that like they're
excluded, even if you're not looking over here at the checkbox. All right. So
one more thing
is I'm going to add
a badge. So something they have badges and they have demos.
Where it's just pretty much Ion badge tag.
And I'm going to use that to show how many meetup are.
So right there, I can just do link, or that's just going to be like an extra helper. So right there, it's out 0 now.
Now we set RCPs.
Okay. That's just another
like extra.
Demonstrates, how easy that was to just add that. Okay. So the next step is to take this list and
we want to make it so it's random. We can have a button that we can click and it will randomly
select a winner from this list.
So the first step to do that would be to do the writing out.
You have to write out
the code that's
person to the list and then
maintain who can be a winner, because some of these people can't if they're excluded. So that's a non-Ionic part that's
kind of complicated, boring. Well, not really too complicated, it's kind of boring. So
I'm just going to check out
6.
and that's going to be just the logic side.
So
right here we have it's like the same thing we have, but here I have a update potential winners method. Then potential winners are people who
excluded pretty
much and people who
once you win, you're not a potential winner anymore.
and then there's also this select winner method,
which we can call
and it will
a random
winner to the winners array, and then we're going to be displaying the winners array, and that's going to be what we're going to see who the winners are.
Okay. So once again,
it's just an
Ion list
with an Ion list header,
which is going to be winners. Okay. That's all we use for now. At the top, we're also going to
button, and if I just go back to the
documentation again.
this time we're going to do a block button.
Then okay. I'm going to change that
to
select a winner, and then on click, it's going to select winner. Okay. So add a winner to winners array. But it won't do anything to the right. So we have to select the winners button.
And we have this winners list.
So we don't have anything to show for the winners yet. So
let's add that in. This is like the
that we have to do. So for the winners, we're
going to display it as an Ionic card. So cards are like a really common design pattern. And then just to kind of demonstrate how to use it.
I'm going to use this demo up here. And I'm just going to, so we have an Ion card header. I'm going to say winners. There's also Ion card
content. We're not going to use that. So
card. And I'm going to do an Ion badge again with the number potential. So that's just a way to display instead of an Ion card
with an Ion card.
Here
you can see there are 0 potential winners right now.
So now we know how
card will kind of finish this off. So we'll go
here.
Okay.
Card. And do it. And before, but winner of winners. Okay. And then each card we're going to need ion. Oh, any ion card content with the winner's name.
And then we're also going to do just like an edge.
With okay. And one more thing.
Is that I want to reverse the winners array, because the winners array, since it's pushing or like appending a new winner on each
time, and the newest winners are going to be at the bottom of the list.
we want them to be at the top of the list. So I'm just going to
make it so that the winner that's most recently chosen will be at the top. Okay. This is kind of like the moment of truth
to see if we can get the winner selection.
So,
Okay, just make sure it's working.
And there you go. So,
let's see who is our first fake winner, and then our new. Sorry, I don't have anything to offer you, but you can be a fake winner and our first winner. So, congratulations, you won being the first winner and a fake app. So, that's it. So now we've gotten it to work. We created the Prizatron. Select more winners too. Long enough, everyone will win.
So
I'll also see if update this potential
winners list
as we go.
I count them down, and if I keep on going long enough, then stop working.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. So that I think that was pretty cool. Created the
Prizatron,
and I feel like I'm personally not really a designer, and so for me, like I didn't have to like figure out what I think is the best.
I didn't have to figure out like what I think is the best padding. I didn't have to do any like Flexbox CSS to
like organize where the
card is and where the name is. So I thought I really like that because
like I didn't really have to do any like explicit design there.
Still really worked out and made it look like a nice little thing. So
Go back and show the resizing file that.
the what?
Oh, so now if you shift it so that the iPhone 6 Plus is something else.
Oh yeah.
Where? How do I? Oh, okay. So I think
It kind of looks weirder. Or
yeah. So it's still like
responsive. Okay. Kind of responsive.
So I
Go ahead,
think
Dale.
So you can make this.
so it works pretty
pretty
well.
well.
It's not
Like one issue. Like I've actually dealt with this
where you put
where
it
you
on the
screen, then it really looks bad. But
if you
you just need to like
I've actually had
an app that I did where I'm also using it. Well, I was using it on desktop, like mainly for
mainly like you can
access it from your phone, like. But then also, like people could use it via desktop. So what you can do is
find the
components.
I am now.
Can you hit Ionic upload and upload the snapshot and give us the app ID so we can pull it up on View and stuff?
Second. I got this sign in.
Should just shoot it up and oh, you have to do Ionic link first if you haven't migrated to the cloud account. That's maybe you already have.
I'm just not really sure.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I just thought you could. Cool.
see if I can. I'll post it in the
Angular and Slack if I can.
So anyway,
What I was showing before was just.
So right here, if I take this component
and add in like max width,
like 500 pixels, something like that, and then it's not that, but this is kind of messed up, but it's there's some
element that I could just like
max
width and like
and then I center it, and it's kind of work. Yeah, I forgot now exactly, but
anyways, if you want to make it look better on desktop, you can kind of just center the whole thing.
And there are ways to do that. It's not uncommon. So,
but it mainly will just be better.
So I think it would work better if you just have a separate desktop site. But if you really just
want to have like one code base thing, that is.
It's just that it will kind of be kind of weird. It's like most websites don't have that. So
Let's see.
that's all. So
Are there any questions? I'm not really sure about that.
Does anyone know?
What was the question?
Using Ionic with like server-side rendering with Angular Universal.
Yeah. So
I don't think there's support. I don't think they have like specific support for like. I do know that they are working like
like progressive web apps, like they specifically are Ionic. So actually, if I go over here,
I generated my project.
It automatically generated a service worker for it and manifest based on them.
So they are trying to make it really easy to like use it with a service worker. But
as for just like, I don't think they have any.
They're kind of more focused on the mobile side of things, at least to have them.
That's mostly what they'll have support for, but like they are
trying to get into
like progressive web apps, and they're making it easier to do that. So I haven't looked at that though,
so you can look into that.
It says, so I looked it up, it says there's some issue that's been created with what they're saying. Someone from Ionic's team is saying you can use something called Deep Linker to get URLs for PWAs, but I haven't done Deep Linker, but basically this person is saying, just like Angular 2, when a route is assigned, page URL changing, it's impossible to redirect, stuff like that. So they're having some issues with SEO friendliness, it sounds like, but I don't know. I haven't looked into Deep Linker. Maybe you gotta look into that.
I haven't done too much with that either. Anything else? So you can't like add in your own icons, but
I think
there's a way to add in just like an icon.
Go to okay, so if you look at it,
right here, you can do this icon component. You can specify
a different icon for iOS and then for Android. So I think
if you could, there's probably I know like for material,
a way to
add in your own icons. I'm pretty sure.
similar thing you can do for Ionic.
So then you could.
Probably use that.
I'm not sure if there's a way to like just create like an icon pack that's specifically using like automatically syncing up. But
I would guess I think
there's probably a way to do that.
There's pretty common use case, and then also, if not, I mean, there's got to be some. There's got to be some.
Maybe they do it just because
they are working with their icon on it. So you could probably do something similar. I haven't looked into that though. All right, anything else? All right.
Well, that's all I have. Thank you, guys.
before you close it down, do you want to? Here, I'll stop the broadcast. Do you want to actually run